The Black Tape Project. It's become synonymous with avant-garde fashion, pushing boundaries and sparking debate. The project has captivated audiences worldwide, challenging traditional notions of clothing and body art. Images of models adorned in intricate designs made entirely of black tape flood social media, garnering millions of likes and shares. The aesthetic is striking, the artistry undeniable, and the visual impact is nothing short of mesmerizing. Yet, beneath the surface of this provocative spectacle lies a darker reality that often goes unnoticed. The mental health of the individuals involved is often overlooked, overshadowed by the glitz and glamour. The project's founder, Joel Alvarez, argues it's about celebrating the human form in its most raw and unfiltered state. He says it empowers women, giving them a platform to express their confidence and strength. However, critics question the impact of such exposed presentations on the models themselves, raising concerns about objectification. Is this art or exploitation? The debate rages on, with strong arguments on both sides. The line blurs when considering the potential psychological toll on the models who participate. The fashion industry is notorious for its pressure cooker environment, where the stakes are always high. Models are constantly judged on their appearance, often leading to immense stress and anxiety. The Black Tape Project, with its extreme aesthetic, seems to magnify these pressures, pushing models to their limits. What are the long-term consequences for the individuals involved? The question remains as the industry continues to evolve. The question lingers, demanding a deeper examination of the human cost behind the captivating facade. As the allure of the Black Tape Project continues to grow, so too does the need for a balanced perspective on its impact. To understand the potential trauma, we turn to those on the front lines of mental health. These professionals are often the first to witness the emotional and psychological toll that the fashion industry can take on its participants. Therapists working with models are witnessing firsthand the psychological impact of projects like the Black Tape Project. They see the highs and lows, the moments of empowerment, and the deep valleys of despair.
It's a double-edged sword, reveals one therapist speaking on condition of anonymity. The therapist explains that while some models feel a sense of liberation, others are left grappling with severe emotional distress. On one hand, some models describe feeling empowered, like they're pushing boundaries. They feel a rush of adrenaline and a sense of accomplishment when they step onto the runway or pose for a photo shoot, but many others struggle with the objectification and the pressure to maintain an unrealistic body image. The constant need to look perfect can lead to severe anxiety and self-doubt.
I've seen a rise in anxiety, depression, and eating disorders among models, particularly after participating in events like these. The pressure to conform to industry standards can be overwhelming. She explains that the constant scrutiny and pressure to conform can be devastating to self-esteem. The relentless criticism can erode a model's confidence and sense of self-worth.
The excerpts from these therapy sessions paint a disturbing picture. They reveal the hidden struggles that many models face behind the scenes. The models are often young and vulnerable. They enter the industry with dreams of success, unaware of the potential emotional cost. They are lured by the promise of fame and fortune. The allure of the spotlight can be irresistible, drawing them into a world that is often far harsher than they anticipated. However, the reality is far less glamorous. The constant pressure, criticism, and unrealistic expectations can take a heavy toll on their mental health. The psychological scars left behind by such experiences can be deep and long-lasting. These scars often require extensive therapy and support to heal, highlighting the need for greater awareness and mental health resources within the fashion industry. The Black Tape Project, by its very nature, places an intense focus on the body. Models are essentially stripped bare, their forms accentuated by the tape. While some may find this liberating, for others, it can be deeply unsettling. Imagine being reduced to your body, your worth measured by how well you conform to an idealized standard. This is the reality for many models. The pressure to be thin, toned, and flawless is immense. The Black Tape Project, with its emphasis on near nudity, can exacerbate these insecurities. The tape leaves little to the imagination, highlighting every curve and imperfection. For those already struggling with body image issues, this can be triggering. The psychological consequences can be devastating. Eating disorders, body dysmorphic disorder, and depression are just some of the mental health challenges that models may face.
For a while I felt powerful. Sarah, name changed for anonymity, A former Black Tape Project model shares. The lights, the cameras, the applause, it all felt like a dream come true. But the feeling was fleeting. The glamour quickly faded, replaced by a harsh reality. Soon I felt like a piece of meat on display. The constant attention wasn't flattering, it was dehumanizing.
Sarah's story is a stark reminder of the human cost of this industry. The emotional toll is often hidden behind the smiles and perfect poses. What started as an exciting opportunity quickly spiraled into a nightmare. The initial excitement gave way to a relentless pressure. The constant scrutiny of her body, every inch measured and judged, the pressure to maintain an unrealistic weight, and the unhealthy habits it encouraged, and the objectification took their toll. It was a never-ending cycle of judgment and self-doubt.
I developed an eating disorder, Sarah confesses. The constant need to be perfect was overwhelming. I was terrified of not fitting into the tape designs. Each fitting session was a source of immense stress. The fear and anxiety were crippling. I felt trapped in a cycle of fear and self-loathing.
Sarah's experience is not unique. Many models face similar struggles hidden behind the scenes. Many models suffer in silence, afraid to speak out for fear of losing work. The fear of being blacklisted is very real. The pressure to maintain a perfect facade is immense. Every flaw feels magnified under the spotlight. Behind the glittering facade of the fashion world lies a dark underbelly of exploitation and mental health struggles. The industry needs to address these issues urgently. Sarah's story is a testament to the urgent need for change. It's time to prioritize the well-being of models over the superficial allure of perfection. The Black Tape Project is just one example of a much larger problem. The fashion industry as a whole has a long and troubled history with mental health.
Models are under immense pressure to be thin, beautiful, and eternally youthful.
This pressure can manifest in a variety of ways, from eating disorders and body dysmorphia to anxiety, depression, and substance abuse.
The industry's relentless focus on appearance creates an environment where mental health is often ignored or dismissed.
Many models are young and impressionable, starting their careers as teenagers.
They are thrust into a world of intense competition, constant scrutiny, and unrealistic beauty standards. This can be incredibly damaging to their self-esteem and mental well-being.
The fashion industry needs to take responsibility for the well-being of its models. This includes providing access to mental health resources, promoting healthy body image, and creating a culture of support and respect. The stories shared in this essay paint a bleak picture of the psychological toll exacted by projects like the Black Tape Project. While the artistry and creativity are undeniable, they cannot come at the cost of human well-being. It's time for a critical conversation about the fashion industry's impact on mental health. We can no longer turn a blind eye to the struggles of those who grace our runways and magazines. The responsibility lies not just with the industry, but with consumers as well. We need to be mindful of the messages we're consuming and promoting. Let's demand transparency, ethical practices, and a commitment to mental health from the brands and designers we support. Change won't happen overnight, but by raising awareness and advocating for those who are struggling, we can create a more humane and compassionate fashion world. Models facing mental health challenges are not alone. Numerous organizations and resources are dedicated to providing support and guidance. The Model Alliance, for instance, advocates for models' rights and offers resources on eating disorder recovery and mental health support. Similarly, the National Eating Disorders Association provides valuable information and helplines for individuals struggling with eating disorders, body image issues, and related concerns. Beyond these organizations, therapy and counseling can provide a safe and confidential space for models to process their experiences, develop coping mechanisms, and work towards recovery. It is crucial for models to remember that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Reaching out for support is the first step towards reclaiming their mental well-being and building a healthier relationship with themselves and the industry.
Breaking free from the grip of body image issues and mental health challenges can be a long and arduous journey, but it is possible. Many models have found healing and reclaimed their power through therapy, support groups, and self-care practices. One such model, Emily, shares her story of recovery. After years of battling an eating disorder and severe anxiety, she finally sought professional help. Through therapy, she began to understand the root causes of her struggles and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Emily also discovered the power of self-love and acceptance. She learned to challenge negative thoughts, and embrace her body for its strength and uniqueness, rather than striving for an unrealistic ideal. Her journey is a beacon of hope, demonstrating that recovery is possible and that true beauty lies in self-acceptance and embracing one's authentic self.
The fashion industry has a long way to go in addressing its mental health crisis. However, there are glimmers of hope on the horizon. Increasingly, models, designers, and industry insiders are speaking out about the need for change. Body positivity movements are challenging traditional beauty standards, promoting diversity and self-acceptance. More and more brands are embracing inclusivity, featuring models of different sizes, ethnicities, and ages. This shift towards a more realistic and representative portrayal of beauty is a positive step. However, true change requires a fundamental shift in the industry's values. We need to move away from the obsession with thinness and youth and embrace a more holistic view of beauty that celebrates individuality and well-being. Only then can we create a fashion world that is both beautiful and humane.